Red sat in a dusty diner on the edge of Las Vegas, sipping cold coffee from a chipped mug and staring out the window at the Silver Mirage Casino. He had watched the place for a week, studying patterns, deliveries, guards, cameras, exits. He wasn't the man he used to be. He walked with a cane now, and his lungs wheezed like a busted accordion when the wind got too dry. But his mind? His mind was still sharp enough to cut glass. The Mirage wasn't just a casino. It was a fortress wrapped in neon, built by Nolan Price, a tech mogul, a media darling, and Red's old protege. A man who once learned everything he knew from Red, before he sold him out to save his own skin. Red did 7 years in a Bolivian prison because of Nolan. And now, Nolan was a billionaire with a reputation for being untouchable. Red looked at the blueprint he'd sketched on a napkin. Not untouchable anymore, he whispered. He started with Vinny two-time Mancini, who he found in a Florida retirement home running a blackjack ring disguised as a bingo club. Vinny was fatter, balder, and louder than Red remembered, but he still had the magic touch with locks. "I thought you were dead," Vinny said. "I was," Red replied. "Now I'm back for one last dance." Next came Jojo, a speed demon who once outdrove an LAPD helicopter in a 1982 Camaro. Now, he was driving a school bus in Nebraska and giving safety lectures. "You're gonna get us all killed," Jojo said. When Red pitched the job, "Count me in." Then there was Mags, short for Margaret, though no one called her that. She had once been the queen of security systems, breaking into vaults protected by algorithms and lasers. Now, she ran a women's self-defense class in Tucson and taught yoga on weekends. "You think we still got it?" she asked Red. "We never lost it," he said. The Silver Mirage was a fortress. 8 layers of biometric security, rotating codes, infrared cameras, and an AI-driven response system. But every fortress has a weak point. Red had found it, a maintenance subgrid beneath the West Wing that connected directly to the vault's temperature regulation system. With the right distraction, and a 10-minute window, they could bypass the AI just long enough to get in and out. But this job wasn't about money. The vault didn't just hold chips and diamonds. It held blackmail, digital records, off-books payments, audio recordings of politicians, dirt on judges and foreign diplomats. Red had it on good authority that Nolan Price kept everything that could destroy him right there, smug in his belief that no one could reach it. Red didn't want to rob Nolan Price. He wanted to end him. They rented a motel on the outskirts of Vegas. It smelled like mildew and disappointment. They spread out the blueprints, marked their roles, rehearsed every step. Jojo modified a delivery van with turbo injectors and magnetic pulse jammers. Mags created a fake fire alert to trick the Mirage's system into rerouting power for 60 seconds. Vinny practiced the biometric bypass, building mock-ups from old appliances and broken keypads. Red watched it all, timing them with a stopwatch, barking orders, correcting angles. On the 3rd day, Vinny grumbled, "This ain't how it used to be." "No," Red replied. "Now we're slower, crankier, and smell like Benghazi. But we're still the best." They dressed as a senior tour group, cargo shorts, sunglasses, loud shirts. They entered the Mirage at midnight, each playing a part. Jojo was the driver, staying outside, revving the van with a cigarette in his mouth and a photo of his grandkids taped to the dash. Vinny and Mags moved through the casino like tourists, laughing too loudly and asking for directions. Red monitored the comms from a diner 2 blocks away, his laptop wired into the Mirage's external camera feeds. At 2:06 a.m., the fire alarm triggered. Guests evacuated the 3rd floor, just as planned. Power rerouted. Mags slipped into the control room, planted her device, and looped the feed. Vinny and Jojo reached the vault corridor. 3 locks, 2 biometric scans. 1 retinal scanner. Vinny cracked them in 60 seconds flat. The vault hissed open. It wasn't gold or cash. It was worse. Hard drives, password folders. A sealed red envelope marked insurance, price. Red's eyes widened when Jojo described it. "That's the kill switch," Red whispered. They grabbed everything they could. But then it happened. The system rebooted early. The hallway lit up with red warning lights. Mag's voice came in frantic. Backup AI kicked in. I'm locked out. Red cursed Plan Delta. Jojo took the drives and ran. Vinny followed, but at the last second, a security drone rose from the ceiling. Shots fired. Vinny dove behind a pillar. Jojo hesitated, then turned back. I got you, he said. But Vinny shook his head. Go! Jojo vanished into the smoke. Red moved through the service tunnel, heart pounding, joints screaming. Outside, sirens wailed. Inside, Nolan Price watched it all unfold from his private suite. But what he didn't expect was what happened next. Back at the safe house, Jojo and Red met again, panting, bleeding, laughing like lunatics. Red opened the red envelope. Inside, photos of Nolan with politicians, bank accounts tied to weapons contracts, surveillance images of assassinations, forged documents, and a thumb drive marked reboot. Red didn't blink. He uploaded everything to 4 journalists, a whistleblower forum, and a contact at the FBI. Then he smiled. Now you pay, Nolan. By morning, Nolan Price was trending worldwide. News anchors called it the biggest leak of criminal evidence since Panama. FBI agents raided the Mirage. Nolan tried to run. He didn't make it to the airport. He was arrested on federal charges of conspiracy, corruption, and espionage. His empire crumbled in days. The media never found out who pulled the job. They blamed it on a rogue hacker collective. They had no idea it was 4 grumpy seniors with bad knees and better instincts. They met one last time, on a rooftop in the desert, as the city shimmered in the heat behind them. Vinny had a cane. Mags had a black eye. Jojo had 3 broken ribs. Red? He looked tired, but satisfied. We did it, he said. Mags nodded. And we're still breathing. Jojo lit a cigar. What now? Red stared at the horizon. We vanish. No more jobs? Jojo asked. Red smiled. If I even think about another job, shoot me. Red, the last to go, turned back to look at the city that once betrayed him. Then disappeared into the dust. 3 months later. A manila envelope arrived at the Las Vegas Police Department, addressed simply to Detective Alvarez, cold cases. No return address. No postage. Just dropped off at the front desk one morning by a teenager on a skateboard. Inside the envelope was a flash drive. Alvarez plugged it into his office computer and clicked the only file, retirement.mov. The footage was grainy, like it had been filmed on an old camcorder. The angle showed a small motel room. 4 figures sat around a table, faces lit by a single hanging bulb. Each of them older and each of them smiling. Red leaned forward into the frame. His face was calm. Like a man who had nothing left to lose and everything left to say. If you're watching this, it means we pulled it off. We took down Nolan Price. We hit the Mirage. And we didn't do it for money. We did it for the lives he ruined. The people who disappeared. The truth buried under zeros and firewalls. You won't find us where ghosts now dust in the wind. But if you're smart, detective, you'll take this to internal affairs, the feds, hell, even the press. There's enough on here to rattle more than one cage. But don't come looking. We've done our part. This was our last job. And we finished it the only way we know how, clean. Red leaned back. The camera panned to Vinny, who raised a glass. To revenge, he said. Jojo grinned and added, to retirement. Mags just smirked and flipped off the camera. Then the screen went black. Alvarez sat in silence. Then he leaned back in his chair, exhaled slowly, and muttered, "Goddamn legends." He copied the file. Then deleted the original. And just like that, the case of the Silver Mirage heist was closed, unofficially. Because some ghosts don't haunt you. They save you. And vanish.